And I came across this dealer who had this pair of walkie-talkies. They're realistic walkie-talkies. They're 3-channel. The way they work is you've got an A, B, and C channel. And what you have to do is you have to actually put crystals in for the channels that you want. So these are old style. This is before they came out with the phase lock loops in the walkie-talkies that allowed pretty much every walkie-talkie to easily be able to synthesize the frequencies for all 40 channels. So these are TRC 99Cs. They're very clean, which is what attracted me to them. But my concern was, they really wanted more money than I gave. I ended up giving $6 for the pair. And I talked them into it because I said my big concern is I don't know what's inside here for a horror show. If there are batteries that were left in here that leaked all over the place, it's going to be an issue. Got an interruption phone call, but anyways, opening it up, and yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing I was afraid might be in here, so I'm glad that I didn't, I think they originally wanted like 15 or 20 bucks for the pair. And I was like, no, I don't think so. And I'm glad I didn't. I mean, a lot of that might clean up. So I'm looking at the crystals here, and you'll notice that there are spaces for 6 crystals. So you get spaces for 6 crystals because you've got a receive crystal and a transmit crystal. And the fact that there's 2 missing tells me that one of the channels isn't even in there. So this has only got 2 channels in it. I could pull the crystals to read the channels, to figure that out if I wanted to, but I'm really not that interested. Actually, I might be able to even see it without pulling them. It's looking like I might have channel 1 and channel 5 here. Let's pop open the other one. My theory on these is that somebody opened them up and found the badly corroded batteries in there and just pulled them out and threw them away and stopped. Yep, same deal. Channel 1, channel 5. Alright, a few minutes. First I washed these in hot water and I blew out all of the moisture with air. And then I gave them a good scrubbing with a toothbrush just to get any other remaining big chunks of stuff off. I'm not going to go hog wild on these things. The contacts look clean enough that I think they might work. I'm going to test them out. I can't believe these things use 10 AA batteries each. Now for the moment of truth. Unit number 1. Ooh, ouch. B must be the empty channel. Let's see if we can get it if we put the antenna up. I know my reception's not so great down here in the basement. That's skip right there. Sound a little off frequency though. Of course, that might have just been that guy. My scanner's going nuts. I'm not transmitting, but the oscillator inside this walkie-talkie. That's probably bleed over from the next channel. Anyways, the oscillator inside this walkie-talkie that is used to synthesize the frequency for reception is actually interfering with my scanner. Let me just see if I can set that scanner up to receive something. I don't have 10 more batteries to spare for the other walkie-talkie, just to have them talk to each other. We're just going to have to use a scanner. Alright, so I set my scanner to search mode, and it's picking up. So I know that the modulation works and the transmit works on this thing. Well, I put batteries in this one, works fine. Same as the other one. So, you know what I noticed about these that's kind of neat is that these are 3-watt output, which is, you know, unusual. Maximum legal wattage on the Citizens band is 4 watts. So 3 watts is pretty respectable. So that must be why you need 10 batteries to have any kind of battery life left if you're using that kind of power. A lot of these walkie-talkies have a low-high power switch that allows you to go down to 1 watt. So if you're close by talking with somebody, you don't waste battery power. But anyways, these are made in Japan. Who knows who the manufacturer was for Realistic at the time. But I don't know. I'll probably just sell these, see if somebody's into collecting these and turn a quick profit.
I came across this other dealer who had this sitting there on his table, just like this. I said, so I was going to just take out the mag base and just ask about that. But then I was like, well, other than this surface gauge, there's a couple of little last word indicator components. Not really anything super valuable in there. So, and I noticed that this is the original box for the mag base. So I said, what do you got on that? He said, $10. So I got this for $10, which is a great deal. It's the, you know, got some surface rust on it, but it's the push button style model 657, and we got the cross bar here, and there's an extra rod by the looks of it here. There's a scribe that probably goes on this surface gauge. So the surface gauge is actually a General, which I haven't seen too many of these. So General Hardware branded surface gauge. It's a small one, like can't think of the model. Starrett that uses. Starrett has a really small one. I forgot what the model number is. But anyways, so yeah, it looks like this is. I'm gonna stab myself. Whoa. Almost did. So, not a bad little surface gauge, actually. This is just a piece of rod that somebody made. Just spare one. I don't know why that's in there, actually. Don't worry about that. What's nice, I just noticed about this, is in addition to this rod, it also has this, which is probably made to go right in here, like that. And this is for a drop indicator with the, I don't have one handy with that style back on, do I? No. Yes. This style lug back. Like that. That's a nice little bonus. That actually does look like a proper rod. Oh, and there's a short post. I bet you it's for this. Yeah. Oh, so we got two rods for the surface gauge too. That's cool. It's just a ring. All right, that's definitely a Starrett 711 indicator clamp, and there's another Starrett. Another dealer had these 3 items here, and I took a look and saw that, you know, this is Central Point, which was made right in Rhode Island. Doesn't tend to bring big money, but I looked at it and realized this is actually kind of a nice tubular inside micrometer set, and I think all the pieces are here. The problem it has is that it's got this foam that's turned into this crusty dust. So if I take a little bit of time, just clean out this foam. Got a complete set here. Even has the handle that goes on here to take the micrometer and go down into a bore. And the micrometer head actually turns okay. Even that little end cap is not missing. And I got this for $5. So after I got this for $5, I was like, oh. I think he wanted 10 for this. And then we ended up working a deal. I ended up getting all three of these for $5 a piece. So I got that one for 5. This is a central point. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a central tool, Cranston, Rhode Island, depth micrometer, and it has all 3 rods, so it's a 0 to 3 inch, and it's got a little friction thimble on there, and same thing, foam problem, but for $5. And this is a little Lufkin depth micrometer, also all 3 rods, so that's a 0 to 3 inch. Don't know if the lock works on this or not. Sort of, kind of gives it some friction. That's all you need. So this has got a really nice little narrow foot to it. Last Machinist item that I bought. It actually wasn't the last item I bought, but the last one we have here from this pick. And then we're going to go outside and I'll show you just a couple of other items. Is this little Brown and Sharp set. I don't know what the part number is for this set. I haven't seen, I've got one of these now, and the one I have now I think is the first one I've ever seen of these. I had to go online and find a forum where somebody talked about them because I didn't know how to use them. Then once I learned how to use them, I was like, oh, those are actually pretty cool. So what this is this is a, it's funny. Somebody marked this and called it a 10-piece precision angle block set. Brown and Sharp, and it says sold $70 May 2021, and she had $35 on it. And I'll tell you, it took me a lot of sweet talking to get her to come down $5 lousy on this thing. I actually left at one point and had to come back later and try again. Finally, I got her to take $30 for this. This is a cool set. So this is not an angle block set at all. What this is this is actually a hole gauge set. And the way that it works, it's got these little tapered pins. They're rounded on one side. Okay, so they're rounded on one side and flat on the other. Got a letter on the side. What you do is you use the chart here. You figure out what size hole it is that you want to measure, what the range is, right? So for instance, since I just happen to have the B one out in my hand, let's say that I just happen to be wanting to measure a hole that's going to fall between 5/16 and 3/8. Then it says use BB. You take the 2 B's and you put them together like so. Now you'll notice that gives me a curved area on both sides, right? You then slide these against each other until they fit into the hole that you're measuring. Slide these in there until they wedge like so. Now take a micrometer, outside micrometer, and take a measurement right here. And voila. Pretty nifty, huh? So the smallest hole ranges, you would use A and A together. Then you would use B and B together. And then you would use B and C. And then B and D, B and E, C and E, and so on, all the way up to G. And this is a complete set. So I think this set's cleaner than the set that I currently have, so I'll probably keep this one for myself and sell my other one. The only problem with this is it's such an obscure thing, I don't quite know what the value would add. I know I want to get more than $30 for it. I almost forgot about these. These are 3 mufflers that the guy who had the hydraulic valve and generator and some of the other stuff I bought, he had these mufflers sitting there. When I came back later, they were still sitting there. I could see that they were clearly brand new. I
I could see also that they had the Briggs emblem on them, so I figured they were most likely genuine Briggs mufflers. It's funny because they look brand new. There's no evidence that they've ever been used, and yet they still have almost like... Okay, well, I guess these are missing the bolts. Well, anyways, so I thought they were 3 identical mufflers, and come to find out, these are part numbers on here. All 3 of them are different. So even though they look almost identical, this is a 7950-77. These 2 are 7950-77s, but this one is a 794182. And it actually has another number on here, BS, I guess for Briggs & Stratton, 697349. So I got the 3 of these mufflers for $10 for all 3, which I thought was a good deal. I figured I could maybe flip them on eBay. Unfortunately, I haven't really found much demand on these according to eBay sales. So I'm going to probably end up just trying to blow these out for $10 a piece. Hopefully I can get my money back out of these. I mean, I'm only into them for, you know, less than $4 a piece, but it'd be nice to get rid of them instead of having them just kick around here. Now we're down to the last few items. This anchor I bought from a guy. He had a few boat anchors there, and I asked him how much for the anchors, and he said $5 a piece. So I took this one right here. Seemed like a pretty decent one. That'll be good for the my boat there. This and that generator, and this the last item I'm going to show you, all 3 of those items came from the same dealer who I buy a lot of junk from all the time. This is a hydraulic valve. It's got a casting number on it, 420006, which I wasn't able to make much of that. There's a name on the handle. Well, actually, there's a 4Z0030 on the handle on that side, and then on this side it says Cross, made in the USA. I was able to find a listing. Apparently this is an aftermarket hydraulic valve. I think this one might be, yeah, this is a double acting valve. So judging from the number of ports on it and the way that it moves, this could be used maybe for like a forward reverse valve on a log splitter project or something like that down the road. I got this for $5. And then I got this generator, which I don't know much about. Could be 12 volt, 6 volt, who knows. So I took a chance on this, but I noticed, looking at the posts and the fact that it's got a fairly fresh paint job on it, that I think this has been rebuilt. So I took a chance on this for $10 in the hopes it'll be a real long shot, but in the hopes that it might actually fit the Ford 5000, because I don't think the charging system is currently working. I think that generator is not working on the Ford 5000 right now. So that's a real shot in the dark. The guy I bought it from, he said the place that he cleaned out where he got a lot of this stuff from, he said the guy was doing starter and generator rebuilding. So it's a good bet that this probably was rebuilt and then just stuck on the shelf and never used. And the last item I got from this guy was this thing. It's got a tag on it. It says Lincoln. And I bought it not knowing what it was, in the hopes that it was a vacuum pump or a suction pump for sucking out oil from crankcases and things like that. That's what I had hoped it was. Unfortunately, I've now found out that what it is it's a Lincoln grease and oil pump. So the idea is that you would fill that with either grease or oil. And, you know, if you buy bulk oil, for instance, in 55-gallon drums, you would fill that up, and then you could take that over to whatever you wanted to pump oil into, and, you know, stick that hose into the crankcase and fill it up. It does have a problem. It's completely locked up. I can't pull up on this handle no matter how hard I try, so something's seized up in here. So I'm going to have to try and do a little work on that to get it working. And since it's not a suction pump, I'm in no rush. Those, it turns out, those things back in the day were really expensive. But the problem is that it's outdated now. They basically make these now with electric pumps built into them. So here's a look at the label. It's got the model number on it. That's how I was able to look it up. There's also a date code, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to decipher what that date code is. Nor do I really care. It's old. That's all I needed to know. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed these Flea Market Find series, please take the time to hit the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.